For thousands of music fans, what should have been the dream of a lifetime, seeing a legendary band reunite, turned into an absolute financial nightmare. Today, we're digging into the massive Oasis ticket scam that cost fans millions. Let's break down exactly how it happened. So, just imagine the scene. It's been 15 long years, and Oasis, one of the biggest bands to ever come out of Britain, finally announces a reunion tour. The hype? It was off the charts. For fans who'd waited forever, this was the event, and getting tickets felt like the most important thing in the world. But that desperation, that excitement, it came with a devastating price tag. Scammers saw the fan frenzy as a golden opportunity, and they just swooped right in. The estimated total that fans across the UK got conned out of? A staggering £2 million. And all of it for tickets that never even existed. So how on earth did a scam this big unfold? In this first part, we're going to look at how that dream of seeing a legendary band live turned into a costly, painful lesson for so many people. And we're not just talking about a handful of people here. The scale was huge. Reports from major banks suggest that over 5,000 fans were duped into buying these fake tickets. And honestly, that's just the number of reported cases. The real figure is probably much higher. So where was all this happening? Well, get this. An overwhelming 90% of all the reported scams started on social media. Fake ads, posts on places like Facebook Marketplace. These platforms basically became the scammers' primary hunting ground. And the financial hit people took was just brutal. On average, a fan lost around £346, which is heartbreaking enough. But in the worst cases, we're talking about people being cheated out of more than £1,700 for a single fake purchase. Just gone. What's really interesting is that the data shows a very specific group was targeted. Scammers zeroed in on fans between the ages of 35 and 44. Why? Well, that's the generation that grew up with Oasis at their peak. They had the nostalgia, probably a bit of disposable income, and that made them the perfect targets for these social media schemes. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What was the scammers' playbook? I mean, how did they convince thousands of savvy people to just hand over their money? Well, it wasn't through some complex computer hack. It was all about psychology. The main tactic they used is something called social engineering. And listen, this isn't about breaking into your computer. It's about breaking into your head. Scammers play on your excitement, your trust, and especially your fear of missing out to get you to do exactly what they want. And their method was just ruthlessly simple. Step 1, they post a really tempting but totally fake ad on social media. Step 2, they tap into your excitement and that intense FOMO, the fear of missing out. Step 3, they insist you pay using an unsafe method. And finally, Step 4, the second the money hits their account, they vanish. They ghost you completely. And that third step is absolutely crucial. You see, scammers will always demand payment through a direct bank transfer. Why? Because it offers you zero buyer protection, and it's almost impossible to get that money back. A credit card, on the other hand, lets you issue a chargeback and dispute the fraud, and that's a power the scammers just can't risk you having. Okay, so we've seen the damage, we've picked apart the playbook, now let's get to the most important part. How you can actually protect yourself. Think of this as your personal toolkit for buying tickets safely when everyone is scrambling to get them. Seriously, tattoo this checklist on your brain. Number 1, only buy from official places like Ticketmaster or other well-known regulated resale sites. 2, always, and I mean always, use a credit card. That protection is your safety net. 3, be super skeptical of amazing deals on social media, especially if someone is pressuring you to act fast. And 4, the golden rule, if it feels too good to be true, you know what? It is. End of story. And this really goes beyond just avoiding one scam. There's a quote from the research that just nails it. The idea of cyber hygiene, staying safe online, applies to everything we buy. A fake ticket listing isn't just a harmless prank. It's a real cyber threat that hits your bank account and, maybe just as importantly, your ability to trust people online. Which brings us to a final thought to chew on. The scammers, they're the ones who set the trap, right? But it's often our own emotions that make us walk right into it. In a world where tickets sell out in seconds and that pressure to be part of the big event is just massive, you have to wonder, is our own fear of missing out the biggest vulnerability we have? It's definitely something to think about the next time that perfect deal pops up on your screen.